Here we go. Hola. Mic check. Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Leah Houston, representing the one and only HBCU in Oklahoma, Langston University. Today, I have come to you guys to talk about the Proud family and the racism and stereotypes and misogyny that are shown and found in the show. Y'all, when y'all see all of this stuff, the informative details that I'm about to tell y'all, y'all just stay tuned in. And I'm gonna let y'all know everything y'all need to know about the Proud family. Let's get into it. So, the Proud family predominantly had a black cast. There was Penny, Oscar, Trudy, BB, Cece, Sugar Mama, as well as Penny's friends, Dejanay, Sticky, La Cienega, and Zoe, which just so happens to be the only white character in the show. Now, let's get to how these prejudice acts such as colorism, stereotypes, and misogyny are shown in the show. So, Dejanay is a perfect example on how all prejudice acts are used, okay? Colorism is shown within this character due to the obvious because of her skin tone, dark skin, blonde hair. Dejanay was basically a representation of the fat, dark skin community who have blonde hair. Because she was big, dark skinned and blonde, her stereotype was presumed to be loud, ghetto, dumb, and desperate to get a dude who did not want her, which led to the next Prejudice and Discrimination Act, misogyny. So, Dejanay shows misogyny through her relationship with Sticky. She always had the tendency to go back to the dude that did not want her. No matter how disrespectful Sticky was to her, she always kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And she swore Sticky was hers and only hers. Like, nobody else is getting this man. Like, it's only Sticky is Dejanay's. That's it. Nobody else is. This is a representation of the black women community chasing after a man that they solemnly don't need and the man obviously doesn't want. Another great example of misogyny with the character Dejanay is that her mother was always working and her father was not in their lives. What does that sound like, y'all? What does that sound like? Representation of the black community. Because Dejanay's mother was always working and her father wasn't there, this caused Dejanay to have her watch her 8 siblings, who are all named after seasonings and spices, y'all. Named after seasoning and spices. And listen to these names. We got caramel, nutmeg, cinnamon, basil, orion, paprika, Tabasco, and cayenne.
Will you please chill, hot sauce? The name is Tabasco, aight? You better recognize.
Yo. So this was basically a representation of black people being named after cars and states or cities like Mustang and Mercedes, or Paris and Brooklyn and stuff like that, or liquor bottles like Brandy and Hennessy. So this was one of the major parts of misogyny that I found, simply because Dejanay's single parent home and her mom always having to work to provide for the family. So this is a perfect representation of the black community today, especially because it was something that I grew up in. Since we're on black women and misogyny, let's briefly discuss Sugar Mama. All right, y'all. So Sugar Mama was basically the black grandma that didn't take any bull crap, but had the same thing going on like Dejanay and Sticky had when it came to men. So Sugar Mama would keep chasing after Poppy, which y'all should know who Poppy is, even though he did not want her as well as him. Speaking to her in Spanish in all disrespectful type of ways. Sugar Mama's over here thinking that Poppy is complimenting him, and he's just like talking mad crap about her in Spanish. And of course she's not gonna know that because she doesn't understand Spanish. So now I think about it, Poppy talking to Sugar Mama in Spanish brings me to the thought of Vietnamese or Chinese people talking in different languages when I go to the nail shop. So y'all know how we go to the nail shop, we get our toes done. Next thing you know, we hear them talking in a different language, and people just assume, they talking about your feet, they talking about you, blah, 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 blah. So I kind of felt like that's what correlated with Poppy and Sugar Mama. That was kind of like a comparison or a representation, because we just stayed doing that. Like, every time we hear one of them talking in Vietnamese or a different language, oh, she over there talking about your toes. Oh, she over there talking about your feet. She over there talking crap. Like, nah. All right, y'all. So let's move on to the next character, Oscar Proud, who is supposed to be the man of the household. So Oscar was the representation of the dark-skinned father who was supposed to be a failure, but not necessarily a failure as a father. He had his own snack product called Proud Snacks, but no matter how many times he tried to change the recipe, the snack was always nasty.
Your snacks are what made the kids sick.
That's your opinion.
That's a fact, Proud. Good thing your wife called me. The kids are gonna be okay. Just stay away from Proud Snacks. Forever!
But another thing that I had noticed now, Oscar was a good father. He was just very cheap when it came to buying things or doing things for the family. I can definitely say some fathers can be very determined. Very, very determined. No matter how much income that they're, not getting or receiving, some of them try to find a way. Some of them, not all, but some of them do try to find a way to make things a little better for them as well as their family, obviously. So Trudy is really the one that's bringing the income in the house, who's actually, cooking for the family, cleaning for the family, actually doing things for the family. And this man Oscar is just going in and out the house trying to sell some freaking Proud Snacks that don't even taste good. So Trudy was definitely a good example and representation of the Black strong mother. She cooked, she cleaned, she provided, and like I said earlier, she's a veterinarian, so she was financially able to take care of the family as well as herself, as well as being a full-time mom. So Trudy was kind of like the mom and the wife and the woman that everyone wanted because she had all of her stuff together. So that also brings me to talk about Penny. Penny was always the one that was hated on. Like, everybody hated on Penny. She was the representation of, the light skin community. Penny gets a boyfriend. Here comes everybody tripping because she got a boyfriend, or La Cienega coming and try to steal her boyfriend. Like, it's just everybody always tried to find some way to hate on Penny. Zoe was the only white character in the show, which I think plays a huge role. Obviously, because she's the only white person. Zoe was your typical skinny white nerdy girl just trying to fit in. I feel like this is me being stereotypical, but y'all know that one white person that hung out or grew up with black people or in the black community, so now they start to act black or have a little black in them. Yeah, I definitely think that was Zoe. But I honestly just think she was just trying to fit in, which is what people do when they're surrounded by people who has the opposite skin color as you. And if you're uncomfortable and you have to live in a surrounding like that, then you have to try to make yourself comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You have to get in where you fit in, which is what I think she did exactly. Got in where she fit in. That also just makes me think of times when there's that one black student in a whole class of white people, Say I'm like the only black student in a whole class of white people that's graduating. I definitely think that's the representation of Zoe. Just roll script. She's the only white person in a whole class of black people. Okay. we're gonna go ahead and take a pause on Zoe and move to the last characters of the show, which is the Gross sisters. So the stereotypes and the colorism with the Gross sisters are just beyond me, y'all. So the Gross sisters is basically, they're a trio of bully sisters who attended the school with Penny, but they're nowhere near friends. Okay, they are blue, which is supposed to be an act of colorism, showing the representation of black people being so black that they're blue, as well as being ashy. Y'all check out a snip of this video.
Yo, Penny, you better check your girls. The Gross sisters are straight tripping. What are you talking about, Stinky? The Gross sisters, the three big ashy girls, they're gonna ruin us Yannicka's cheer.
That's not even all. So you see that constantly having their hand out. And what does someone having their hand out mean? Let me read the definition to you. To be in request, demand, or expectation of benefits, such as welfare, especially when undeserved or unneeded. Y'all, if this ain't colorism or stereotypes, I don't know what to call it, because I think this is the most important thing going on today in the black community. The government is so messed up. People literally have to have their hand out to find a way to provide, not only for them, but their family as well. Whether that's food stamps, welfare, social security checks, or just even sometimes asking the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how this show shows so much correlation and representation of the black community. Black people, black mothers, black homes. Like, I definitely think because we were so young watching the show, we weren't picking up what they were putting down. And I feel like literally each episode of the Proud family has its own meaning. And as soon as you do your research about the Proud family and you watch the episodes, things are gonna get a little more deeper than you expected. Best believe that. I just think the Proud family is just historical. They made a whole episode about the Nguzo Saba, about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Honestly, if I didn't go to Marcus Garvey and they didn't teach me all of that stuff, I would probably learn it from the Proud family. Because of how many times I watched the Kwanzaa episode. Like, they're all teaching you things in the show. You just have to pick up what they putting down. What I want you to do is hop on Disney Plus and let me know what you see in the show. What colorism and stereotypes and maybe even some racism things do you see in the show? Rewatch the episodes and comment below or get in touch with me and let me know what you see and what you saw. Comment what you think. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on all social media platforms. Don't forget, never ever forget, this your girl Leah Houston, representing the one and only HBCU in Oklahoma, Langston University.